I'm Cléa Michelet. I'm a student at the Graduate School of Agronomy of Toulouse. I'm currently doing an internship at INRAE, and my mission here is to complete the French surveys of Roman, Cosdulot and Lacon breeders. So during this hour you will complete the preference survey designed in Smarter to collect farmer preferences for resilience, efficiency, health and production trait for an ideal animal to breed. The data we collect from you will be included in the Smarter data and will be analyzed together with the Farmers One. We will look in which way you, professional trained and aware of up-to-date knowledge on genetic selection challenges and techniques may have different preference profile to the Farmers One. And after completing the survey, we will discuss the survey method and your result as well as the result of the breeders. So the task 7.3 of the Smarter project includes 5 partner countries: Uruguay, France, Spain, Italy and Greece. A total of 15 breeds and 3 production: milk, meat and wool production. The Smarter committee decided to survey 50 breeders per breed. Here the objective was to have a majority of breeders who are both breeders and users, and a few breeders outside the selection organization, neither breeders nor users, to have more diversity and to know every breeder preference. So with this survey we want to know the preferences of small ruminant breeders for an ideal animal. Is it a productive, rustic or efficient animal? The result of this research will be used by different genetic selection organizations for small ruminant, and more globally by agricultural development and advisory structure. It also will allow to identify better the genetic trait to be included in the selection indexes and their associated weight. So now you will answer the survey in the same condition as the breeders. The survey is about your preferences and is organized around a series of simple questions. For each of these questions, we will ask you to choose between 2 scenarios, 2 hypothetical herds or 2 hypothetical animals. I choose the example of the breed Michelet Russe. So the number you will see on the survey are based on his breed. So the Michelet Russe is a dairy sheep, the most productive of the Pyrenees, whose milk is used to the conception of the PDO Ossoi-Errati. It's rustic and well adapted to transhumance and to the difficult terrain of Pyrenees. So firstly, you will have a personal question to know your topic of investigation, and then the survey will begin with a question about your opinion on prolificacy ranking. And I think that's it. So you can click on the link that I sent you by email or scan the QR code here. And normally in 20-25 minutes it will be finished. The preferences part, the one you have done. You have only responded to the second part because the first part is to determine groups of breeders' profile. So the first part of the survey consists of a series of questions on the farmer's profile, his farm, the composition, the management of his herd, and finally his position with regard to selection tools. The objective of this part is to be able to study the link between preferences and characteristics of the respondent and his farm. Here you have an example of the first part. This stage of the survey was carried out using Alchemy software. This is a survey question software chosen according to the expertise of one of the project partners. At the end of this part, a link takes the participant to the second step of the survey. So for the second part, we used choice modeling and Paprika algorithm. And that's it. So this is for estimate the importance given by breeders to different genetic traits. The survey was conducted online using 1000 Mind software. This is a decision support tool. Distribution can be done by email, and the respondent can answer autonomously. But the survey can also be done in individual or group interview. This is what I'm currently doing for French breeders. And the advantage of 1000 Minds is the algorithm Paprika. So when we want to build a preference survey, we have two options: the contingent valuation, by asking respondents directly about their willingness to pay for hypothetical scenario, and the choice modeling, where respondents repeatedly choose their preferred scenario between two fictitious scenarios. So we have chosen the choice modeling. A scenario corresponds to an alternative, and these alternatives are defined on several characteristics called attributes and expressed by values called levels. The succession of choice 2 by 2 make it possible to deduce by statistical modeling the weight, that is the importance, and that the various attributes have in the decision making of each individual surveyed. So here you know the survey. So what is Paprika? Paprika is an acronym for potentially all pairwise rankings of all possible alternatives. It is based on choosing between two hypothetical alternatives defined on just two attributes at a time and involving a trade-off. It's a global ranking of possible alternatives, and when all pairwise ranking of the alternative with respect to each other are known, depending on the number of attributes and level chosen, the number of possible alternatives is potentially several million and more. This is why Paprika is an algorithm very interesting, because it allows to reduce the number of questions asked while classifying the alternative between them. And in order to ensure that the respondent complete the survey and do not respond randomly, a compromise must be found between the effort required and the amount of information desired. So it's important in this type of survey to think about the number of attributes and the number of levels. Preference study using this method have between 6 and 10 traits, so attributes, and 2 and 4 levels. And after several discussion and tests, a combination of 8 attributes and 3 levels each was chosen. So here you have the levels, attributes and indicator that you have found in the survey. So we select 2 production traits, milk and dry matter in milk, 2 resilience traits, resistance to mastitis and resistance to parasitism, expressed by the percentage of susceptible animal showing clinical sign of infection, and 4 efficiency traits, feed efficiency, polyefficacy, longevity, and mortality at weaning. So we define the trait levels by combining several methods, focus group with breeders, literature review, and also exchanges with project partner and other collaborators. The aim was to make sure that the levels were plausible, the trait well chosen, and their expression well defined. So now we can talk about your result. So here we have an idea of how long it took you to answer the survey. There is someone that answered a question in less than 1 second, so it is excluded. And we can see that admin it took 21 minutes. This is the comparison ranking between your response about polyefficacy and the breeders one. So we can see here we have 2 groups. A group which is agree with the breeders, with a low number of lambs and another group that is the opposite vision. Here are your results. So for you, the attribute that you prefer is mortality at weaning. In second, it feed efficiency at equality with parasitism. And so to compare with the results of the breeders, we can see that it's a little different. The breeders prefer in the first position the character mastitis, in second the dry matter in milk, and in third longevity. We also can see that there is opposition between feed efficiency and dry matter in milk, with the second and seventh position. And so this graph represents the responses of the breeders, and you can see that they are a lot of profile. So here Estelle Janaudet have done study about the different profiles of breeders. And here you have an example of a group that prefer production and quality of milk, and another group that prefer health and longevity. So, in conclusion, as you have seen, there is different point of view also in the breeders group. We found several profiles. So at this day, not all surveys are complete, so we have to finish them. And the objective after that is to publish a paper and to help to balance breeding goals with new traits, and to take in account all the studies made during the package 7, and combine these results with economic, environmental and societal aspects. So thank you for your attention.